So back in the world of text adventures, I was thinking about it, and there is one little tidbit of information that might be fun to learn. Like I said, everything in Java is an object, including a little class that they have came up with over at Sun called Object. So they have an object class named Object. Pretty cool, right? And what you can do in Java is extend things like parent classes, okay? And what that means is when you extend a parent class, you will actually get everything that that parent class has, which is pretty snazzy. Like if you had a class called animal, if you were a cat, you could extend it, and maybe you have pee and poop as the two methods that you get for free. So you wouldn't have to implement them; they're just there, and you can actually go ahead and redo some of the methods they have, which is called overriding. It's a really useful thing, and it's a really useful design pattern too. We might look at it in this text adventure game, because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that we could kind of have for free if we just thought about it a little better. Anywho, object class, like I was saying, by default, guess what this extends? In fact, guess what every class extends by default? Object. Which is kind of crazy, because what they've done is actually made a little syntactic sugar and made it so that this line and this line are pretty much the exact same thing. Every object will extend object by default. And you can see that because what you can do is reference yourself, which is the this variable, okay? You can say this dot, and I really wish NetBeans suggestions would work, but you can do this dot toString, okay? And this would produce a string, even though there's no method in here that is called toString. I magically have it, and that's because it extends object, and object gives you a default toString. String it's a method that turns this into a printable version on the console. String. Alright, so anywho, random fact of the day. Back to the game. So Hello World is not a very interesting text adventure. How about what is your name? That's kind of a cool little problem, because you don't know how to get input yet. So the way we do that is by taking the scanner class, okay? And we make a variable, scanner scan is equal to new scanner, okay? And what's interesting in Java is whenever you use things, you have to import them most of the time. There's only a few you get for free. So this is part of the java.util library, and then it's scanner. Now it's still throwing me an error because scanner doesn't have a constructor. It doesn't have a constructor that matches just empty braces. It takes in something here, okay? So there's a parameter here for that. If you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because a scanner could take in a file, or maybe a stream from the internet, or maybe, in this case, what you're looking at in the console, which is our case. So we're going to do system.in, which represents our console that we'll be playing with down here. So we've created our scanner. This is important enough, though. What I'm going to do is declare it up here. And what that means is that this scanner variable will be part of this text adventure class. And you can prove that by saying this.scan. And it has no, here, there we go. It has no problem seeing this.scan, okay? We don't have to use it that way. By default, we can just put scan and it knows what we're talking about. It does. It just doesn't like it that it's there by itself. So that's the way we'll use it. So, what is your name? That is going to be a list of characters, which would be a string. So we want to scan in a string. String name is equal to scan dot next line. Okay, so listen for the line, scan it in. Just to prove that we have the name, maybe what we want to do is print out the name. So like, hey, name, so cool with your name. And that's our program. What's your name? My name is Ross. Hey, Ross. So now we're kind of seeing how we can get input. Very exciting times. Alright, so next thing would probably be like, oh, well, what if I have like 5 rooms to choose from? And I have to pick a room, and based on what room I choose, maybe I get attacked by a monster, or a beautiful model comes up and gives me a kiss. Or maybe it's the same. Alright, the way we do that is we kind of copy this line, these 2 lines. We have questions to ask. Maybe which room number do you want to go to? And then maybe we'll have 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, I've used 1, 2, and 3 because it's an integer and that's kind of easy to work with. You could do strings, you could do whatever. There are tons of documentation on how to work with different variable types. We'll just work with this, and we'll do it with an if statement. So, first we need to scan in the variable, which in this case is an int, so our data type changes. Alright, so that's the room number. Scan.next, not line, int. You can look this up online. The scanner class is online, it's documented, you can see all the methods. Usually NetBeans will suggest the methods to you. My Java is out of date, which is probably why it's not doing that. So, alright, if the number is equal to 1, that is our awesome model room. So that's the one I'll be picking. So, hey, well, we can do that. Hey, name. I'm a lonely. That's not spelled correct. The model. Help me. All right, so that's our model one, and then maybe we have another one. This one is a monster. A monster. You're dead. Don't pick that room. And then our third room, locked. Alright. So now we can see how this works. Actually, it will be even meaner than that. We'll do an if, an else, and an else if. So if 1, do this. Otherwise, if 2, do this. Otherwise, it's not either of those, do this. Alright, let's play our awesome game. My name's Ross. Which room number? Oh, I don't want the monster or the model. I think I'll go for the model. Yay, the little model. And the game ends. You can go through and play it with all the numbers, and look at the next one to see how we do this better.